On this episode of Fish Addictions TV, we're headed up to northern Minnesota for a backwoods adventure. Now we're gonna hang out with the Hang Loose boys and just have a ton of fun on the ice. The temperature is supposed to be in the mid-40s and no wind. You couldn't ask for anything better. Now stick with us for this backwoods adventure.
Stay tuned for more Fish Addictions TV.
Addiction, the fact or condition of being addicted to a particular substance, thing, or activity. An addiction is not desirable. It is something that overtakes your life. But what happens when an addiction can't be stopped? An addiction is stronger than any one drug with only one cure. The cure is not rehab. It is not medication. It is not a counselor. The only cure for us is the water beneath our feet, the rod in our hands, the anticipation of that next big bite, and the camaraderie we all share.
Fish Addictions TV is brought to you by Eskimo Ice Fishing Gear. Striker Ice. Go early, go late, go prepared. 13 Fishing. Make your own luck. Acme Tackle. And the rest of our fine sponsors.
You know, talking to these guys from Hang Loose, they said they asked if we wanted to go on an adventure, and an adventure is what we got.
We've talked about it here for the last couple of weeks, getting up in the back lakes, kind of getting back to where I grew up in. You know, living back in North Dakota now, it's a completely different atmosphere up here. You got woods, you got all these thousands of lakes up here.
Coming in here, like a lot of little lakes we fish, we first drove the trucks for about 45 minutes. We unloaded the sleds, snowmobiled 10, 15 minutes. Got to another little snake trail, had to handsaw our way in. There's been, with this heavy snow throughout this winter, there's been a lot of, you know, small trees down, so we handsawed our way in, parked at the end of the little trail and, you know, walked about a half mile to get back in here and carried all our gear in.
I mean, getting to one of these backwood lakes, they're basically untouched. We start drilling some holes and we're just crushing these fish, one after the other.
You know, over the last 2 years, I've gotten to know a couple of the guys from Hang Loose really well, and just getting a chance to meet the rest of them. I've just always known they're a group just like us. We're out here to have fun, to get other people into fishing, to just get out and have that camaraderie and make memories and just do things out of the ordinary. So this group really meshed today, and we put a lot of fish topside, and having fun was an understatement. We had a blast. There it is.
Oh, they are just screaming in. So right now we're sitting on our little back lake here. mixed caliber of fish in here. Behind us there's another basin over that way. Tops off at about 20-25 feet, and it's just a real good thing to get down there as soon as you can, because these fish are not leaving.
Stick with us for more Fish Addictions TV.
Introducing the new standard in high-performance electric ice augers, the Ion X, featuring the newly designed 5 amp-hour XC5 battery with 66% higher storage capacity. The Ion X powers through up to 1,600 inches of ice on a single charge.
That's a lot of extra holes.
The all-new cast bottom cuts fresh and frozen over holes more smoothly.
So easy to use, starts every time.
Flush holes clean with reverse, no more scooping. No exhaust, so I drill inside my ice house.
Learn more at ioniceaugers.com.
The new Acme Rattlemaster has a built-in echo chamber with a brass rattle that calls fish in. The body's solid brass too and won't bend or dull, and reflects fish attracting light all over the water column. This 1-2 punch of sight and sound means you drill less holes because fish come to you. Jig it, rip it, or shake it for crappie, walleye, northern, salmon, or trout, and experience multi-species action with just one bait.
At Eskimo, we engineer for performance on the ice.
The HC40 is the first auger with an engine built for propane.
Others use modified gas engines that don't take advantage of the higher octane propane.
This high compression engine gives you superior power with less weight.
Propane burns clean, and a propane engine starts easy.
Our quantum blades can even cut through old holes.
The Eskimo HC40, the high performance propane auger.
I've had a lot of opportunities when I was growing up to fish some of these remote style lakes, and it's just nice getting back to it. I mean, it's secluded, you got beautiful scenery, wildlife. There's nothing better than this.
Fishing about a 24-foot hole here just off the shoreline. It's about the deepest spot in the neck of this lake right here. And we're kind of drilling a bunch of holes to find the fish. They're really suspended right now. I mean, I got fish on the graph anywhere from 8 to 12 foot down. They're just kind of swimming around through here in packs, and drill a lot of holes and bebop around and catching some nice crappies. A lot of them down there and a lot of good eaters like this one. Hopefully we get some tanks, because I know they're in here.
It's great being with the Fish Addictions crew. They're guys just like us who love to have, catch fish and have fun doing it. It's not always about getting them topside, but it's, just the camaraderie of having them out here. They're high energy guys just like us, and we loved it. It was fun. Oh yeah, there we go. Just another small one. Always good to be back out with the Fish Addictions crew here. Got to meet these guys over the years here, working at Shields. Good networking, and got to know Mike real well and these guys, and it's always fun to get back out in the lake with them and get after a few of these.
Hey, this is Travis with Fish Addictions, and I've got a little tip for you. Now, I myself, I do a lot of running and gunning, so I'm out there popping holes, chasing the fish around. Now, what I used to have a problem with is on my striker bibs, I used to get a little bit of ice buildup on the colder days. So I went to Shields, and they pointed me in the direction of some tent waterproofing spray. So what you do is you take your tent waterproofing spray, you thoroughly spray it on your bibs from about the knees down. So what I did the next day is I went out, did my same running and gunning style of fishing, and noticed that the water was hitting my bibs where that spray was and beating off and falling off, which I didn't have the problem with the ice anymore. Here's a little tip to help your day a little bit more comfortable while doing your running and gunning.
When you look at these lakes, you know, a lot of times you get into them and it's one class of fish and it kind of worries you, or maybe you just hit it on the wrong day. A lake like this, today we've seen probably 5 different year classes. I mean, we caught them from 6 inches all the way to 14.5 inches, you know, and then everything in between. So it's telling me that this lake has great reproduction. I mean, we're gonna be able to come out here year after year. It's hard to get to, so more than likely, it's never gonna get overfished. We're gonna be able to bring our kids here, their kids, hopefully, and pass this down generation to generation, and hopefully this thing will just keep kicking. Boom. If it gets better than this, I don't know what it is. Back lake crappies. It's a little better one. Oh, still a little small. We've been doing this since the first day we got our license. There's a good one. Since the first day we got our driver's licenses, we all started out with learning from our parents, and as soon as we got our licenses, we were gone. We grabbed the Minnesota book. Back then it was a book of just a bunch of lakes, and it said what it had in it. A lot of the lakes didn't even say what it had in it, but we'd start flipping it. Somebody'd say stop, we'd hit that lake and we'd go to it, punch as many holes as it took to grid the lake, and if there wasn't fish, we were off to the next lake. And oh, there's one. And oftentimes that day we would end up finding a good honey hole, just like this one. I mean, this is one of those lakes that we found. It's a good one. Oh yeah. Ooh, there's a nice crop there. Yep, these are the ones we came in looking for. I mean, they're good fish. But we'd head out during that day. Oh yeah. There's a toad. And that's how we find these lakes. I mean, it was a lot of work. We just went after it each day. And now we're still doing it today. I mean, it's going on 15, 20 years, you know, and you're never gonna hit them all. I mean, there's lake after lake after lake up north here, and then you can go south, and there's just no end to it. And I don't think we'll ever reach the end. So we're gonna keep pounding holes in all these lakes, and every time we're gonna hope we find the next treasure.
Stick with us for more Fish Addictions TV.
Hi, I'm Pat Kovash, owner of Kovash Marine, proud sponsor of Fish Addictions. We're very happy to have Fish Addictions running our new 203 with our 350 Verado. Equipped with the Mercury, Yamaha, or a Suzuki with the Warrior boat is always a winning combination. Come on in and check out our great service department at Kovash Marine. Whether it's custom rigging, engine rebuilding, or routine maintenance, we can handle it at Kovash Marine. Come check us out at kovashmarine.com or 1417 First Avenue North in Moorhead. And remember, when experience matters, call Kovash Marine.
Fishing, make your own luck.
We at Eskimo are just like you, up early to take the morning commute to our favorite fishing hole. We understand your days on the ice, enjoying peacefulness and solitude, are limited, and we believe our gear needs to work all the time, which is why we are backing all of our power augers with the first ever 5-year warranty. Nobody sells more power ice augers than Eskimo. Get assurance, get reliability, get Eskimo.
So we started out in the first basin of this little lake, and we caught a bunch of smaller fish. We decided we'd go to the second basin in the lake. We sat up for about 15 minutes there, popped a few holes, moved around a little bit, and sat down on a hole, ended up bringing up a couple smaller ones. And I seen a big mark that was suspended about 10 feet below the ice. I reeled up to it, and bam, it was just like a ton of bricks. Boom, and I could just feel it head shaking. Oh, there's one.
You know, it was hard to keep track of all the fish that were coming topside. Ben would have one on, and all of a sudden Dylan would have one on. And it was just fish after fish after fish.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
yeah.
Woo!
That is why we prefer these, pristine backwater lakes like this. We weed through a lot of smaller fish, but then you come through and you get a couple of good ones. And look at that. Woo!
All I gotta say is these guys are living the dream. All of us fishermen, whether it's on the ice, whether it's, in open water, you guys got it here. You got thousands of lakes that you guys can pick from.
Absolutely.
Choose from, put your finger on a map, and there it is.
And go. We only drove by about 400 lakes just to get here,
there's so many year classes of fish here. We've punched 100 holes already.
Absolutely.
Catching a lot of small fish, a lot of big ones. All of a sudden, here we do.
And now we're getting into the
13s, 14s. We just measured this one. This one's 13.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Living the dream.
That's right, absolutely.
There we go. That one feels a little bit better. Oh yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. So out here on a couple of these back lakes, everyone's different. Everyone, you have to go through a couple different, you got private land, you got state land. You gotta go different ways into all of them. Some of them you're accessing through little trails that have been cut, through previous years from other people that have kind of been overgrown or wind blowing in. You might have to, like we did, come in with a handsaw. But the biggest thing, you look at your maps, your plat books and everything, and make sure you're going through state land, make sure you're not crossing any private and stuff. And when we find a back lake like this one, we've been fishing it for a couple years now, and basically, you're snaking through small trails. You want to pack really light. Like on our snowmobiles, we'll have our Excel Outdoors trunks, or our boxes, of what we use personally, and we like to put our Markhams or our flashers, whatever we're using, our rod bags, snacks, everything up in there, and that gets us out on the lake without sleds, without all sorts of a big load to bring out here. Just packing light, getting all these little areas is kind of tricky when you got big, your big sleds. Oh, that's a good one right there. Bet we can get another one here too.
It's like one after the other, dude. Big one? Yeah!
A couple times we were looking around and you're catching a fish and you get locked in the moment, and all of a sudden you look around and you see, oh, Brock's got one on, Dee's got one on, Colt's got one on. We had probably 6, 7 triples on, at one time. It was crazy.
That is another good one. Perfect for the pan, one after another.
A couple of the guys on the staff call me a panfish snob because that's really all I like to go after. And when I come to these lakes, this is why I'm a panfish snob. I mean, the coloration on these fish is incredible. They're just almost a gold colored crappie, and the bluegills are really bright. I mean, they're just gorgeous.
It's nice to see these small fish because your lake, it's the production of it's good. It's reproducing good, and it's going to sustain a pretty good fish population for the future as long as, it doesn't get tons of pressure. I mean, sometimes there's a trail cut in and people find it and it ends up getting hammered. And then what we'll do is let's do what we did to find this one. We'll find another one and keep fishing where there's not pressure. And like I said, sometimes you'll find big ones, sometimes you'll just catch a bunch of them like that, 8, 9, 10 inchers.
Yeah, good eaters if you wanted to keep fish.
Absolutely.
Stick with us for more Fish Addictions TV.
Fish Addictions TV is brought to you by Eskimo Ice Fishing Gear. Striker Ice. Go early, go late, go prepared. 13 Fishing. Make your own luck. Acme Tackle. And the rest of our fine sponsors.
So everybody obviously loves to show off what they catch, It happened a few times today where we're filming Mike catching a fish or Benny catching a fish, and all of a sudden somebody else is in the background. You get to grab your fish and run over. I mean, what better feeling is that to get to show off your catch?
Anytime you get a chance to get to a lake that's just been pretty much untouched, it's one of those special things. And these guys, the Hang Loose guys, is kind of like a group just like we are. And that's why we're out here with them. It's just a bunch of guys that want to have fun and try new things, go on new adventures. All the time, these guys are searching for new places to fish. And whenever you can get with another group of guys that has the same motive in mind as you do, that's a blast. Oh. And when you're in a backwoods lake, I've been spoiled being able to go up to the northwest angle and catch crappies year after year. And come to this lake, we had heard a little bit of rumors that there could possibly be some big crappies in here, and we logged into a few beauties. And you can catch a fish like that. That's a bonus. Guys, we've always talked about it. Fishing isn't about catching trophy fish. Obviously, that's a huge perk. And we travel all over the Midwest fishing with different people. And you're out here and you can see people catching fish behind me and people laughing and people just high-fiving each other all day long. If you get a fish like that, that's a bonus.
So you look out here and you don't hear a single sound. I mean, no car traffic, no nothing, snowmobiles, nothing. I mean, we're the only ones out here right now. And when you think about fishing northern Minnesota, I mean, it's almost like you're up in Canada right now, 15 hours away from anyone. There's nothing going on. I mean, we're on one of 1,000 lakes in northern Minnesota that hasn't been touched. I mean, there's these little gems all over the place, and if you can find your way back into one, I mean, you're gonna be all alone. You're not gonna hear anything, no disturbances.
You try to take as little stuff as possible. So for us, it's when we want to eat, we're gonna bring some hot dogs, hamburgers along. We're not gonna bring a grill, we're gonna grab some wood, we're gonna make a fire, and that's how we're gonna cook our food. It's the easiest way to do it, and that's half the fun too, you know, getting the fire started and cooking all your food just right over the open flame.
What a way to end an awesome day out here on the ice. Now, we didn't only have a backwoods adventure, we got new friends. The Hang Loose guys, some of these guys we've known for years, some of them we don't know at all, some of them we've known just for a short while. But today on the ice, we all became friends. Putting fish topside, whether they were small, whether they were big. We shared tons of laughs. Now we're gonna cap this day off with a bonfire and roast some hot dogs and have a few laughs. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's adventure. Now, we are in this pristine wilderness, and every week we're somewhere different. So I hope you follow us on all our social media outlets. We'll see you next week.